Welcome to Kachai with Lucky. Thank you so much for sparing some time to be with us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kachai with Lucky. Today is going to be a special show because it's just me with Brian Semanda, who prides himself in being the sex therapist. And he's going to be answering some of the questions you sent to Kachai with Lucky, especially about your sex life. Hi, Brian.
Hi, how are you?
It's just the two of us, isn't it strange?
Beautiful, strange.
Beautiful, strange.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get into it. People have been asking questions. You know, we've had so many shows, but then there's questions that are asked often.
Okay.
The question of, I'm just going to say water, for a lack of better word, is one that comes up every now and then. Men are asking, what do I need to do, or what can I do as a man to make sure that every time we're getting intimate with my partner, she's well lubricated?
Okay, beautiful. The part of lubrication, there's not so many things you as a man you have to do to make her lubricated, unless foreplay is involved.
Right.
Foreplay is everything that makes it simple, but there's times where your partner is actually having issues with the unnatural perspective, you know, of water. So I think you as a partner, you must be engaged. Because sometimes men take this sex thing as a private issue. Be involved in what your woman takes. You know, encourage her. You know what? Take some porridge. Don't make it sound like she has to perform for you. Make it part of a flow. Right. So that if you put pressure on her to get the water, sometimes you're going to bring in performance anxiety, and then every time she sees you, she's tensed. Water is everywhere. It's like having a nose and you can't breathe. So every woman has water. It's how you handle her. But then understand, woman to woman, it's different. How Lucky behaves sexually is not another person behaves.
Right.
So you need to first of all study your partner and what she wants. Because you can't just come and dive in and expect the same to happen. There are days when a woman usually dry, or there are days she will be not.
Are there, for example, are there skills or tactics or styles that people can do? Because I know you talked about, is it called clamp shacking?
Clamp shacking. What's the African men call kachabal? Okay,
yes,
the Ugandan
the clamp
men.
shacking.
Yeah.
Isn't that an easier way of getting your woman to get to that place?
Yeah.
At least to get some water.
There's an easier way, but then first of all, positioning matters, and the size of your woman. It should be only the gadgets meeting, not your body weight on her. There should be a little bit of space. And then most mistake most people do while they're doing their clamp shaking is when your erection is on full strength. You're the one doing, you're going to feel pain because you have to force it. It has to be in a fluffy state. Your penis must be in that flaccid state where you're just going to slowly do it and have a pattern. Don't do and then change it. Just have a flow. Because this kind of the vagina itself responds to consistency in a certain way. Because if you're doing this while it's getting used to it, you're changing. I mean, it's supposed to be a continuous flow.
And then I think sometimes, because I'm a woman, men don't really listen to us.
Yeah.
While you're doing this, you're supposed to study my body reaction.
Exactly.
Even without saying something, you would know what's working, what's not working, making me uncomfortable.
Meanwhile, it's okay to ask also.
Yeah, it's okay. You can ask, but
Yeah.
then also you can react, you know. And if you see that maybe necessary, like, you know, ask me, oh, what did I do? Are you okay? Something like that. That will get you more engaged, and perhaps your woman will get to a place where she wants to.
But then again, while I'm doing the clamp shacking, a woman must be doing something also. Don't be just there waiting for it to come. You as a woman, you see a girl downstairs moves. You breathe. While you're breathing, don't breathe. You breathe in and breathe down through your vagina.
Right.
It starts swelling, and then before you know it, it's time to release it. You have to participate, you as a woman, to release the water.
To get to a place where
because if you're tensed up, there's what we call vaginal atrophy. The vagina withdraws because it's so much pressure on. So when you relax, breathe nicely, take a deep breath in. When you're breathing out, breathe through your vajayjay. Sorry, I'm using that word. Yeah.
Okay, so the other question that is very common and a lot of people are asking is the issue of size.
Size.
A man who is small and a woman cannot feel you properly, how do you use whatever you have for you to satisfy? There are two things. The other thing is too big to a point where it's just pain, and there's no satisfaction. So what advice would you give to, especially to these men, in terms of satisfying their women? How do you use the gadget you have to satisfy your woman?
You see, we have men who believe that sex is what I do.
Right.
Sex is not what you do as a man, it's how you make a woman feel. How you make her feel is much more important to get the results you want. Because most men are quantity oriented. 3 hours, how big I am, and that's how it is. But the thing is, with women, this vagina, you see, is very sensitive, just 2 inches inside and out. So the thing of going inside, sometimes they don't even need it. So that means if you have an overly big size, because it's full enough, use it around there to fall onto madam there. Because if she, for example, this clitoris, the clitoris itself, the mistake is most men attack it from down. It's like a nose. You don't attack it from down. It becomes irritating. So you see her shaking, thinking she's enjoying, but she's irritated.
She's irritated, and it can be painful.
Yeah, very painful. So you go to attack it from down and be slow, be gentle with it. So if you are found with a huge size, there are days when the woman wants you to be inside at a time when probably she's coming or orgasming, but not with energy. It's supposed to be a slow motion thing. Meanwhile, women love the slow thing more than the speedy thing.
That's true.
And then sometimes, you know, this sex is a series, like I said before. When you're doing your slow pace, there's a time where speed is going to be, you know, automatic. But you cannot start with that.
And again, it goes back to the issue of listening to your woman.
Exactly.
These men don't listen. You know, you're there, you're at a certain speed. If I communicate that, you will see it, that she wants you to go faster because of where you have put her, especially when you're having your sex. She's in that space where now she's ready for more rhythm. But if you, like, glue on one kind of rhythm and you're not listening to her, sometimes you'll find that a woman will withdraw. It's like, let this man do whatever he does,
and when he's done,
I wish he just gets off me. You know, she's there in the pain. So you got to be able to listen to your woman and follow her rhythm sometimes.
And if you find yourself with a smaller size this time, like I said earlier, the vagina is sensitive, more outside than inside.
Right.
So you're going to understand if you find yourself with a woman that is African endowed, like thick enough. If she's thick enough, you're not going to waste time doing missionary on her. Because once she is thick, that means even a G-spot is going to pull back because of the size of her butt. So it's going to mean that you're either going to put her legs up, which is going to be tiring at the same time, because you're going to be on her. So if you, if you, I can imagine. If you raise her, that means if you find yourself with a smaller size, don't waste time inside. She won't feel you. But then whatever you do outside, see, I told you the vagina needs whispering. Even though the cookie needs whispering. Whisper to it, even though you just blow to it. If a woman, most women actually who have men with huge things, they say, Brian, I've never come. The guy can be on you and you feel it in your throat.
But then he's hitting the wrong
It's just hitting the wrong spot.
places.
So if you have a smaller size, concentrate more outside. Because and ask, when you're asking, don't ask as a boy, what do I do? Do something and ask if it's fine. Do you like this? If she says yes, I like it. Oh, no, wait. Change in the process because you're studying the body. So when you have a smaller gadget, concentrate more on the body than the inside.
But also there are certain places as a thick woman, you also have to be able to move.
Yes.
If you know the size that your man has, and you know positions that you have to be able to be adventurous. Find out. Legs have to move.
Exactly.
Legs have to move. It's not going to be like straightforward for people who are probably the same sizes. You're going to be a little bit extra. Side, put your feet up, put your feet down, put your feet down. You got to be able to find ways by doing different things. And if you do different things, you're going to find 2 or 3 that actually work for you and your partner.
Yes.
The other questions that are asked mainly by people, there's men who cannot sustain themselves. The guy is just there for 30 seconds and he comes. 1 minute and it's done for him, and he tries Bambi and doesn't work. How do you then, what advice would you give for a woman who just can't seem to hold it together for a longer time and therefore fails to satisfy his woman?
So a man who cannot hold it for long, the same thing comes back to if you realize you can't hold it for long, inside is very warm.
Right.
Every time you get inside there, it gets warm, even when you're really sometimes good. That's why people who know how to control, you're going to step out a bit. And then the breath work. Some people be on pressure. They are panting like a wild dog. So sex is supposed to be a relaxing point. Every time you realize you can't hold it longer, don't concentrate on one thing. Be
Think
playful.
about other things.
Be playful. Concentrate on different things. And then when you realize what makes most women actually come or enjoy the sex is not, I told you earlier, the activity is not what makes it. Meanwhile, if you put it there and talk to her, keep on asking questions, withdraw it, and then start studying.
That's why you're buying time.
You're buying time for
and
yourself.
And it's going back to
it's going back to your time.
To the beginning.
Exactly.
And then,
and then also understand that if you want to last longer after you've, not to come quickly, when you're realizing you're releasing, pull out a bit.
Right.
When you pull out a bit, when some little wind outside blows on it, or you drop a little, don't finish everything. Your penis will stay in that flaccid form, though not with a very strong erection. It will stay in that flaccid form. When you stay in that flaccid form, now start doing the outside business slowly. There you're going to be able to gain. But most men, because they are used to that pumping, when you pump a lot and let everything out, guy goes down completely, that you can't even move him in any sense. So when you find yourself in a place where you release quickly, concentrate more outside than inside. And also there's a certain type of exercise you've got to do to strengthen your penile.
Do men do Kegels as well?
They do Kegels as well.
Okay.
We do Kegels as well in the action and before the action. Like even when I'm seated here, I'm trying to do my Kegels because it's a process. It gets into your mind to register it. When you're peeing, for example, you can exercise slowly. When you're peeing outside, release and hold without touching it. Release and hold. So that process is going to help you in the other side. And I tell most men, the issue is not coming quick. The issue is when you come, are you going to be able to connect?
And then there is also the other question, just to supplement that other question.
Yes.
There's men who take long to come. And this woman is frustrated. And he's taking long or he doesn't come at all. We tend to think that it's easier for men to come, but there are some men who are struggling with that. Like he can be there for hours, the woman is tired, but he's not coming. How do they get themselves to at least,
There are two reasons. There are deficiencies that happen. Also men get dry.
So I've heard.
If for example, every time you release, sperm production in men is something that most people never take serious based on how you're eating. If you take a lot of whiskeys also sometimes, there's a way it numbs you and then drying your kind of thing. So when you're engaging sexually, most men aim at pumping. Yet sex is supposed to be essential thing. If you realize you're struggling with coming, forget the thumping. Start flowing. Start
whispering her ears.
Yeah, because when you actually, if you keep on doing the speed, your system is disorganized. You don't even feel the enjoyment. So the reason is, when you realize you struggle with coming, if the problem is not with your sperm production, because I've had men who actually don't produce semen, they just get tired and get off.
Right.
So if it's not that, if it's you realize you're going to come for longer, understand what causes it. Because some men also know how to control. If it's not the control, then learn to enjoy it more than killing the other girl.
Be more psycho, because I think there's a lot of pressure that men put on themselves. I gotta satisfy. And most of them think, if I use a lot of energy, if I'm there for a long time, if I gotta show I'm the man. And then sometimes they forget to enjoy themselves. And if you forget to enjoy yourself, it's going to be very hard.
Meanwhile, if you're thumping, sex is supposed to be an essential thing. Like most men, when they start thumping, you find a man sweating while having sex. Why are you sweating?
Turn off.
It's supposed to be a slow, because if you struggle with coming, that means you don't get in touch with your body. So it's supposed to be an essential process. And if you realize you struggle coming, there's a position you're not going to do. When you struggle coming, don't do missionary.
Right.
Because that gives you a lot of power. You feel in charge. So get to a place where you're helpless. Let the girl ride if you struggle coming.
There's another question they keep on asking. I've been with my woman, but she never comes. And women are also having trouble coming. That's a question that happens a lot. I've never gotten to hallelujah, lucky. What do I need to do? Ask Brian. So how does a woman, control herself to a place of
where
actually
she's going to
getting
come
there?
Like we when we discover sex, I've actually noticed what makes many women come is not inside. You see, the G spot, the clitoris and the G spot have a relationship. So if you find yourself you struggle to come, adventure the finger business.
Explain.
Adventure more with the fingers of your partner than the dick.
Right.
Because the fingers can reach
than
the penis. Okay, than the banana. Like if you struggle, that means you're going to take enough time discovering yourself.
Right.
Because see, there are three stages of sex or orgasm. There's anorgasm, there's coming, and there's squatting, the vaginal ejaculation.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you can't achieve the other climax of involuntary body movement, you're like, oh. So the thing is, you've got to study and consistently know yourself. Because we are... As a woman. Because if you can't make yourself come, no man is going to make you come.
That's not true, actually.
Sometimes you need to understand. For example, this is what I teach people.
From a woman's perspective.
This woman said, if I don't touch myself, I don't come. When he is inside you, create a position where he's not going to be sleeping on you, so that you touch your cleat as well while he's doing. So that you're going to concentrate more, be part of it. Don't wait for him to do. When this vagina wall moves. If you start concentrating on moving it, sensation is going to be increased. For example, if he enters, don't kegel, because most women, they keep on telling them kegel when he's entering.
Because that way you hold him.
Hold him.
Kegels will be for his benefit, not so much
not
for
so
you.
much, because
he'll feel good about it.
Yeah.
But are you feeling good?
Every time
so you gotta
kegel,
find something that works for you.
Yeah, every time you kegel him, you're depriving yourself of the fun. Guess what happens? When he's in, start breathing and breathing with your vagina, with your cookie. That girl downstairs starts swelling, and the more she swells, the more you increase pressure on your just spot, because this place moves. You can actually breathe it out, and it comes like okay. Not everyone has given birth before. Like the way you release a bit. So when you release and push him out, it creates pressure a lot more, and it's going to lessen the space in between there. Because most people actually don't know that the vagina is a hole. There's a hole in there. When you breathe, the contraction begins to happen. So every time you breathe and you're pushing him out, as he's doing his roller moving, he's going to be hitting the right places.
But then also, I think as a woman, if you want to come, you also, like you said, discover yourself. But there are certain things that work for different women. See, men think we are the same, we are not. There are certain weird, you would look at it as a weird thing, but it works for her. There's people who like little bites behind their neck. Or behind their neck. Then there's people who will come just by whispers, especially when they are ready. Just whisper in her ears, sweet little nothing. And then that will make her come. So for you to be able to understand that, you gotta talk to your woman. Find out what really works for her. There are weird things. Somebody will just tell you, if my man touches my fingers, what is about it? That's that. So don't look at it as weird. Look at it as an individual. That's what really works for her, and go with that, and that way she will.
In this all, it comes back, engage a woman, because some women, their brain is so all over. So if you don't engage them, they are here, but their man is not here. So the whispering, the talking, the questions, engage her and keep her in the flow. So coming or not coming, you as a woman, you got to be here. What you're doing. Don't be here, but your mind is rent. Your mind is, so connect everything onto sexuality. Actually, I tell women that sex is yours. Be fun, be part of the story. How's it doing? Whatever it is, feel it. Like, it's okay to direct where you want it. And
then be able
to be part of the story. So coming becomes a fun thing that if you, because most men, the problem we have, not many men can last there for like, for 30, more than 30 minutes.
And maybe the woman doesn't want you to be there for too long. It is not so much, and men really confuse this, it's not so much how much time or how longer you are in there. It is the what and the connection you have together. Some of you have are intimate with your partner, but you're absent. You're in the action, yes, you're doing, but you're absent. There's the connection, that chemistry is not there. So I think people need to look into each other's eyes while you're making out.
It's more
this
essential.
Actually, it's essential. It creates that
communication.
It's communicate that you can communicate with your eyes without necessarily saying anything. So this is something that couples, I think, need to do more. That creates a different kind of chemistry. When I look at you in the middle of
the unsaid words, your eyes, your body will speak if I'm looking at you. Because you can simply call me in, meaning please.
And it's sexy.
It's sexy. You can bring me in, and then sometimes you're like, wait. I don't want to go there.
Okay. So that we shall come back for another part 2 where people write us questions and you answer them, but you did so well. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Brian Semanda, the sex therapist. That's all we had for you on Kachai with Lucky. Be kind to one another. And if you want to send us questions, you can do it here on our YouTube channel. That is Kachai with Lucky. Remember to subscribe and be part of the family. God bless you. Be kind to one another. Kwaheri.